Let's set up for our jingle. Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy, my partner Bill in the background, and
husband,
of course, and husband. And of course, we may see an occasional cat. So I will mute all. And let's get started this morning. Let's just shake out some energy before we get grounded. Just shake it all out. Move your head. And we'll end up on our backs. Hugging our knees into our chest. Reaching for opposite elbows, your wrists. And just gently draw those knees in towards your chest. Take a big breath in through the nose. Open up the mouth and just sigh it out. Two more like that. We breathe in. Mouth opens, gentle exhale. One more breath in. Audible exhalation. And then allowing the legs to come to the floor. Let's turn our palms up towards the sky. And just allow yourself to feel heavy. Relax the jaw. Feeling the back body connected to the mat. Allow yourself to let go. Feeling the effects of gravity. Gently rocking your head side to side. I'm going to start. Good morning, Becky. Thank you for joining. I'm going to start with a quick quote before we begin to move the body. A quote by Jirsa, which says, "Yoga is the dance between the light and the dark within you. The light is what brings you back to the mat, and the darkness is what you uncover there. Don't be afraid of the darkness. These are only shadows, and though you'll have to walk down some pretty dark alleys, remember you are grounded in the light, and the light will set you free." So with that, we'll hug those knees into the chest and just gently begin to rock the back body. 2, 3, or 4 rocks, feeling the feet as they connect with the earth, that grounding energy, until we find ourselves in a comfortable seated position. You can cross your ankles. Good morning, Hollywood. And we'll bring our hands onto the tops of our thighs and drawing your chin towards your chest. Allow those shoulders to roll down your back body. And we'll lift our chin, open up the throat. Eyes soft or closed. And then drawing our chin back towards our chest. And one more time. Lift the head, lift the chin. Allow those shoulders to draw away from the ears. And then bringing our right ear towards our right shoulder. And then beginning to find those head rolls in that counterclock direction. Ringo's assisting me on the mat this morning. And finish that last revolution when your chin reaches towards your chest. We'll lift our head and then take your left ear towards your left shoulder. Allow those shoulders to relax and finding a slow revolution in clockwise direction. Lick your lips, relax the jaw. And when your chin reaches towards that chest again, we'll lift our head and then reach those fingertips out towards the earth. Again, find that groundedness. The right arm lifts up towards the left ear and draw that right shoulder towards the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then we'll lift that left hand off the mat. Maybe 6, 12 inches. And releasing, finding that groundedness with the finger pads. Now the left hand lifts up towards that right ear. Take the ear towards the shoulder. Finding that breath in and out through the nose. And then we'll lift that right hand a number of inches. Beautiful, and releasing the hands back towards the floor, and we'll just take a twist to the right. Our heart lifts, and we twist towards that right shoulder. 2 more with our breath. We inhale, we lengthen the spine, and a gentle twist to the right. 1 more inhale, and we twist. Beautiful, and we'll find the other direction. So our heart lifts, and we twist to the left. 2 more, we breathe in, feel the sits bones grounded, a gentle twist on the exhale. 1 more breath in, a gentle twist, and we'll come back to center and just find the feet on the earth, and we'll find our way into our first downward dog. First downward dog of the Lunar New Year. As we pedal out the feet, shake out the head, bending alternate knee, opening up the arches of the feet. Couple more here, shake out that head. As you keep your hands towards the top of the mat, just walk your feet to the heel of your hands. Your feet at least hips distance apart, a slight bend in the knees. We'll interlace the hands behind the back body. Maybe use a hand towel. On an inhale, we find that halfway lift, that beautiful long spine. On an exhale, soften the knees, crown of the head towards the floor, finding that equal distribution of your weight in the 4 corners of your feet. So gently draw the hands away from the back body. Relax your face, shake out that head. Taking more weight into the balls of the feet, allowing those hamstrings to begin to fire. Again, shake that head side to side. As we deepen a bend in the left knee, draw your chin towards that right shin. Head is heavy. Now the right knee bends, we draw the chin towards that left shin. And we'll come back to neutral, find that halfway lift. Take the opposite thumb on top. Beautiful breath in, soften the knees on the exhale. Crown of the head towards the floor. Notice where your hands are in space. Can you draw your hands a little further away from the back body? Relax the face. Take a little more weight into the balls of the feet. Again, firing up those hamstrings. As we release the hands to the floor, now heel toe those feet together. Find that halfway lift. And Uttanasana on the exhale, that deep forward fold. We'll take 2 more like that. We breathe in, we lengthen. Fingers can rest on your shins. Soften the knees on the exhale, crown of the head towards the floor. We take 1 more like that. We breathe in, we lengthen, expand. Soften on the exhalation, release and let go. And then gently unroll the spine. Feel the foundation of the feet. Our heart lifts, lines of energy out the fingertips as our arms reach up towards the sky, shake out that head. And we'll take a beautiful swan dive forward. Navel is engaged in and up towards the spine, crown of the head towards the floor. So find that halfway lift, and we'll reach the right foot out, finding that high lunge here. You're on the ball of the right foot. That left knee is over the left ankle as we gently rock backwards and forwards. Opening up the collarbones. Then we'll release that right knee to the earth, untuck the toes as we begin to melt those hips forward. Lift your eyes level, open up those collarbones again. Now we'll tuck the right toes under, lengthen both legs, but take that right foot so you're about 3 feet away from the left foot. The right foot is on a 45-degree angle. You can always rest your hands on bricks. But find the hips inner turning towards that center body. Now allowing the chin to reach towards that left shin again. Relax the head. We're breathing in and out through the nose. And lengthen the spine. Take that right foot to the left. And we'll slowly unroll the spine. Take your time. And we'll reach the arms up towards the sky, lines of energy. Again, out through those fingertips. As we take a beautiful swan dive slowly, crown of the head towards the floor. We'll find that halfway lift. This time we step that left leg back into that high lunge. Our right knee over the right ankle as we gently rock backwards and forwards. Audible breathing, that Ujjayi breath. We lower the left knee to the earth, untuck the toes, open up those collarbones as we melt those hips forward. Lift your heart. Tucking the left toes under, lengthen both legs. Take that left foot again. You're about 3 feet away from the right foot. That left foot is on a 45-degree angle. And then you're spinning your hip points towards the top of the mat. That right hip back, left shoulder forward as you begin to draw your chin towards your shin. Soften that right knee as much as you need to. Relax your face. You're spreading your toes wide. We find that halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Soften that right knee as you step that left foot to meet the right. We find that halfway lift. Forward fold. And we'll unwind that spine one more time. Lines of energy out through the fingertips, big breath in. Now we swan dive forward. And finding that halfway lift, step the feet back into a high plank. Those shoulders over the wrist creases. And again, just gently rock backwards and forwards, warming up the hips, the ankles, the wrists. Lift those sits bones, downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. On an inhale, that right leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack that right hip on top of the left. Flex the right foot as we reach that right knee up towards the sky. And lengthen that right leg behind you. Step it forward, finding warrior one. That foundation with the feet, a beautiful breath. Inhale, reach the arms up, maybe connect the soles of the palms together. And we'll forward fold. Take that right leg back, pause for a beat in our high plank to low plank. You can drop the knees. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. On the next inhalation, that left leg lifts. We bend the knees, stack the hips, flex that left foot. Our chest is parallel to the floor. Now extending that left leg. On the next inhalation, step that leg forward into our warrior one, that foundation with the feet, a big breath in. And again, maybe connecting the soles of the palms together. Release the hands, left leg back, pause for a beat in that high plank. Now your vinyasa, high to low. A cobra or up dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Shake out that head. Toes are spread wide, equally pressing the hands and feet into the floor. Soft eye gaze towards the back of the mat. Lifting through those sits bones. Take another beautiful breath in through the nose. Nice long exhalation. As we look forward, soften the knees. Step walk, maybe jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Deep forward fold. Ride that breath all the way up. And we'll swan dive forward. Uttanasana. Take your time, engage that core, navel in and up towards the spine. We find that halfway lift. Please step or jump those feet back. High to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. That right leg lifts. We find our warrior one and rise. And we'll take those hands behind the back body. So interlacing those fingers, but open up the palms. That right knee is over the right ankle, and gently allow the palms of the hands to slowly ride down the back of that left thigh. So it's a subtle movement. Your head is relaxed, your heart is lifted. And on an inhale, lift the head and finding silver surfer. So crown of the head on the inside of the right foot. Again, we're drawing those hands away from the back body. The sits bones are spinning towards the back of the mat. So that means your right hip is reaching backwards. That left front of your hip is reaching forward. We spread our toes and just take a few breaths here. Crown of the head reaching towards the floor. Can you take your hands a little further away from the back body? Take one more breath in here. Let that breath go completely. Then slowly rise. Take your time, release the hands. And we'll find our vinyasa. Right leg back, high to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Our left leg lifts. Step it forward lightly, warrior one. Foundation with the feet, we ride that breath all the way up, our heart is lifted. And taking your hands behind the back body, interlace those fingers, open up the palms, and again, gently riding the back of that right thigh. So the left knee's over the left ankle, a very subtle movement. Our throat is soft, our heart is lifted. On the next inhalation, lift your head, silver surfer. Take your time, crown of the head on the inside of that left foot. We draw the hands away from the back body. Notice where those sits bones are. We spin them towards the back of our mat. Now gently allow that left knee to come over the left ankle. Relax your head. Spread the toes. We take one more breath here. Let that breath go completely. Ride that inhalation all the way up. We release the hands. Your vinyasa. Left leg back, high to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Soft eye gaze. Reconnecting with that breath. External rotation of the shoulders. Soften those knees slightly, lift those sits bones. And then engage in the back of the legs as you draw those heels a little closer to the floor. Please take one more breath here. Let it go completely. Look forward, bend the knees. You walk, hop, maybe jump to the top of the mat, halfway lift. A deep forward fold. And then ride that breath all the way up. In forward fold, Uttanasana, swan dive. Navel is engaged, take your time. Halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back, high to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, soft eye gaze. Our right leg lifts. Warrior one. Big breath in. And hands behind the back body. Inhale, lift the heart. Our silver surfer, crown of the head here. We stay here for one full breath in. One full breath out. And then slowly rise. Release the hands as we blossom open into warrior two. So settle into those hips. Walk that right knee maybe a little closer to the top of the mat. We're hugging the muscles to the bones. Drop into the hips. Now reach the right hand high. We fan those ribs. And again, just lift that left hand. Steady breathing. And we'll take that right hand, so we're back into that warrior two. Now we'll take the forearm on the thigh. Left arm up and over. Feeling that connection of the outer edge of the left foot out through the left fingers. We draw the shoulder back into the socket. Now release that right hand as we tick-tock it backwards and forwards, engaging that core. And lift that right hand high. Beautiful. Back into our warrior two. So we're going to straighten that right leg and find warrior two on the other side. So the left knee over the left ankle, settling here for a few breaths. Hug the muscles to the bones. Relax your jaw. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Now lift that left hand high. We fan the ribs wide. And we'll lift that right hand. Maybe take it the height of your shoulders. Keep reaching that left knee over the left ankle. And then we'll settle back into our warrior two. Pause here for a breath or two. Maybe sit a little deeper. Now that left forearm on the left thigh, right arm up and over. That gorgeous line of energy from the outer edge of the right foot out through the right fingers. Draw the right shoulder back into the socket. Now stay here or release that left hand. We tick-tock it backwards and forwards, connecting with our core. Maybe elevate that left hand. As we blossom back into warrior two and vinyasa, hands to the floor, the left leg back, high to low plank, cobra or upward dog. Pause here, feel the top of the feet on the mat, open up the collarbones, lift the sits bones, downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Face is relaxed. Breath is steady. Keep your hands where they are. We'll walk the feet into our center line. Big toes touching. Soften those knees slightly. Draw the heels to the floor. Opening up those collarbones. Free up the head and neck. Now lifting that right leg high. On an exhale, we'll take the right knee towards the right shoulder as we draw our shoulders over the wrist creases. Inhale, lift. Now taking the knee to the nose, we round that back body. Exhale, extend through the toes. Now drawing that right knee towards the left elbow. Big breath in, expand, and find that high lunge. Ride that breath all the way up. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Find that scissor action in the hips. We exhale the hands towards the floor. That left knee covers an inch or two above the mat. Big breath in, expand. Exhale, we soften. Riding that breath, beautiful. Inhale. Nice long exhale. Let's take two more. We lengthen and expand on the inhale. We soften and let go on the exhale. We'll draw one more breath in, expand, soften on the exhale, back into that high lunge. Reach up through the hands, taking the hands to the floor, right leg back, vinyasa, high to low, cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Taking those big toes into that center plane. Our left leg lifts up towards the sky. So from here, just keep the hands rooted, level off those hips. And we'll draw the left knee towards the left elbow, shoulders over the wrist creases. Maybe that knee connects. Exhale, extend the toes up towards the sky. Relax the head. Big breath in, take the knee to the nose, shift that weight forward, round the back body. Exhale, we lengthen and expand. Now we crisscross that knee to the right elbow. Maybe they connect. Extend through the toes on that exhalation. Now a big giant step forward into that high lunge. And expand, lift the hands up towards the sky. On an exhalation, now that right knee hovers release the hands, look straight ahead. Big breath in, we lengthen. Beautiful exhale, let go. Let's take 3 more. We're breathing, expanding, letting go on the exhalation. 2 more, big breath in. Exhale, we release. Last one here. Find that expansion. Release on the exhalation. Then taking those hands up into that high lunge, opening up the back of the right thigh. Your vinyasa. Hands release, left leg back. High to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Nice, we'll meet in downward dog. Jason doing extra push-ups, I see. Soft eye gaze towards the back of the mat. Lift through those sits bones. Pause and breathe here. Notice what's connected to the floor. Rooting, letting gravity draw you to the core of the earth. Relax your face, swallow a few times. And just walk those big toes into that center line again. We lift that right leg up towards the sky. Bend the knees, stack the hips. Keep rooting those hands, reach that right knee a little higher. Stay here or flip your dog. Wild thing. Feet root. You can start with that right hand on your hips. You're lifting the front body, right hand up towards the sky, opening up that heart. The throat is soft. Spread out the toes. Beautiful, 2 more breaths here. Can you lift that front body a little higher? And with control, slowly watch that right hand as it comes to the floor. We'll reach that right leg back up towards the sky. And just shake and lower that right leg to the floor, downward dog. Soft eye gaze towards the back of the mat, shake out the head. And walk those big toes into that center plane again. On the next inhalation, please lift the left leg, bend the knee, stack the hips. We yawn that left knee up towards the sky. 1 more breath here, stay here, or flip your dog. Both feet to the floor. Again, maybe start with that left hand on your left hip. We lift our front body from that foundation with the feet in that right hand. Maybe lift the left hand high. Feel the breath in the body. Deepening that breath. We take 1 more inhalation here. On an exhale with control, watch that left hand as it connects with the mat. The left leg lifts. And we shake that left leg all the way down to the mat. Downward dog. Soft eye gaze. Steady breathing. Take another inhale here. Let it go. Look forward, deep bend in the knees and the hip creases. You step, hop, or maybe jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Deep forward fold into our chair pose. As we lower our hips, we expand those hands. Our palms towards that center line, energetically hugging those knees together. Now everyone lift those hands a little higher. Drawing those floating ribs back into the body. Now sit tall. Drop those hips, lift the heart. And we'll bring our prayer to our heart center. A full inhale here. A deep twist to the right. So hooking that left elbow outside the right knee. The soles of the palms connect. Steady breathing. Squeeze those knees together. And let's expand our hands. Right hand high, left fingers brush towards the floor. We use the leverage of that left elbow. Steady breathing. And drawing the soles of the palms back together as we find our way back into our chair pose. So expand those hands, squeeze those knees, tail tucks under, lift the hands a little higher. Connect the soles of the palms together, a big breath in, and a deep twist in the opposite direction. So hook that right elbow if available outside the knee. Those elbows are in one line. Our breath is steady. Feeling that gentle twist in the lower abs. Nice. Now expand. The left hand high. Spread the fingers wide. Find that leverage of the right elbow. Maybe twist a little higher. And we'll take the soles of the palms back together. Finding our way into our chair pose one more time. Release those hands. As we take our prayer through our heart center, deep fold. And take those feet hips distance apart. Shake out that head. And just find the finger pads here. We'll take the weight into the balls of the feet, lift the heels. Then we draw the heels back towards the floor. Now take all the toes off the mat. So weight is into the heels, lift those toes. Beautiful. Taking the balls of the feet back to the earth, lift those heels a little higher. You have the leverage of the finger pads, the hands in front of you. Open up the arches of the feet. Beautiful. On the next breath, heels down, lift all 10 toes, more weight into the heels. You can bend those knees as much as you need to. Now turning your feet into a 45-degree angle, let's sit into Malasana, that squat position. So protecting those knees directly over your ankles. We take those elbows inside our knees, maybe connect our palms together. You can always roll your mat up, to give yourself a little more lift under the heels. Find that breath. Start of the lunar year, year of the rabbit. So we'll root through our feet here and we'll blossom up. So ride that breath all the way up to standing. And then slowly take those hands outside as we settle back into Malasana. Hands at your heart center. So we root to rise. Big breath in, expand, bend the knees, finding your way back into that squat position. 3 more. Move with your breath. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, bend those knees. 2 more. Inhale. Expand. We have 1 more. Full breath in. We expand. We lift. And settle last time here into our Malasana. Those elbows inside those knees. Spreading out the toes. Take that right hand on the inside of the right foot. Lift the left hand up towards the sky. And we'll take that left hand now inside of that left foot. Expand and lift that right hand up towards the earth. And lowering it down. Lift the hips and turn the feet towards the top of the mat. Now we take our peace fingers around the big toes. Soften those knees. We find that halfway lift. Open up the collarbones. On the exhalation, deep forward fold. Firing up those hamstrings. Elbows out towards the side of the mat. Relax your face. Steady breathing. Drawing your shoulders away from your ears. More weight into the balls of the feet. Warming up those hamstrings. 2 more breaths here. We take another inhale. Let that go. On an inhale, we find that halfway lift. This time, take the hands towards the mat, toes towards the wrist creases. We find that halfway lift and a deep forward fold. Soften the face. Steady breathing. 1 more in breath. We let it go. Release the hands, heel toe those feet together, and just unwind that spine. Take your time. Head is the last thing to come up. Expand, lift the arms up towards the sky. Take that right hand on the left wrist We find that breath in, and we'll take that crescent shape towards the right. So bend those knees as much as you need to. And maybe explore, maybe taking the feet together, finding that crescent shape. On an inhale, we come back to center, release the hands. Now the left hand on the right wrist, we find that length, and then up and over, finding that crescent shape on the right side of the body. And if your toes have been touching, maybe step that left foot out, soften the knees, and just see if you can find a little more opening on that right side of the body. And on an inhale, we lift our heart. Now releasing your hands, palms towards the floor, soften those knees slightly. We're gonna lift our sternum, our breastbone up and take a slight back bend. So again, it's a subtle move, the head is heavy. Connecting with that breath. If you're holding your breath, don't go as far, but see if you can find your eyes towards the back of maybe your space, your living room. Big breath in here. On an exhale, we come back to center. Now a deep forward fold. So we've explored Uttanasana many times here this morning. So maybe taking those fingers underneath your heels. You're bringing your toes towards one another. You find that halfway lift. Now bringing your chin towards your shins. So you're folding the body in half, taking more weight into the balls of the feet. Relax your face, draw your shoulders away from your ears. We have 2 more breaths here. The final full inhale. Complete that exhalation. Release your hands, and we'll find our first child's pose. Knees spread, I know. Knees spread wide, big toes touch. Taking those hands in front of you, forehead to the floor. Allow those forearms to relax onto the mat. Softening the breath. Letting go of any holdings in the belly. And with your mind, just feel each finger as it is connected with the mat. Feeling the soles of the palms, the forearms connected, the knees, the shins, the tops of the feet. And then again, noticing, can you feel the toenails, including the pinkies? And from here, keeping the body where it is, just taking your soles of your palms together into a prayer position as we melt our heart a little closer to the mat, maybe bringing your chin to the floor for some of you. 2 more breaths. We take a final full inhale. Nice long exhalation. Releasing the hands to the mat. We'll come on to our hands and knees, and we'll find just a few cat-cows here. So with that next exhalation, round the back body, chin towards your chest. Feel the shins, feel the palms, lift that back body. On an inhale, our heart reaches forward, open up those collarbones, eyes high. Exhale, chin towards your chest. We're rounding that back body. Big breath in. 1 more exhale, chin towards our chest. Come back to neutral, toes tucked under, lift those sits bones. Walking your hands and feet towards one another as we slowly unwind the spine. Big breath in. Samasthiti, equal standing pose. We pause and breathe. Finding that connection with your breath in and out through the nose. We'll flutter those eyelids open, and we'll hug that right knee in towards our chest. So we'll find some ankle twists in one direction, We'll change direction. And taking that left hand on your left hip, right hand is still on the right knee. Just open that right knee towards the side. And then we'll take it back to center. Lubricating that hip joint, we're opening. And then knee back towards center. 2 more with your breath. Back to center. 1 more time, we're opening. And drawing that knee back to center. So take that left hand now outside the right knee, right hand behind you. So you find that gentle twist in the lower abdomen. Now take the right foot against that left leg so you have that connection. And we'll just take our eyes towards the side. Feel that gentle twist. And on that next breath, maybe find a deeper twist, taking your eyes towards that right thumb. So the right foot is still connected to the inner left thigh. You're twisting. Beautiful. And we'll come back to neutral, back to center. Just release that right leg. You can shake it out. And we'll come to the other side. So that left knee bends. Both hands interlace. We find those ankle twists. A beautiful tall spine. And then we'll change direction. Now keeping that left hand on the left knee, right hand on your right hip. Again, you're lengthening that upper body, and we'll just open with that next inhale, that left knee. Finding that balance, we'll draw it back to center. We have 3 more like that. We're breathing, we're opening. And we'll come back to neutral. You can always use a wall. 2 more. Take that left knee back towards center. Last one, we're opening up that left hip. We draw that knee back to center. Connect the left foot in the inner right thigh. You've got that foundation. Now the right hand comes on the left knee, and we take that left hand behind you. Shoulder height. Eyes straight ahead on the next inhale. Gaze towards the side of the mat. You find that gentle twist in the lower ab. And on that next breath, maybe find a deeper twist, finding that left thumb. We'll come back to center. Release that left foot. Shake it out. And let's take a vinyasa. So a full breath in. A deep forward fold. We find that halfway lift. Step your feet back into high plank. Holding our high plank. Now we'll find our forearms into our forearm plank. So palms flat on the floor. You can interlace those fingers. Lift that back body. Got a few more breaths here. Thighs are engaged. Foundation with the feet. We have 2 more breaths. 1 more inhale. On an exhale, you can drop the knees, chest to the floor, turn the left ear to the mat, release the hands alongside of the body, allow yourself to just let go here. Feel the breath on the back body. And we'll take the right ear to the floor. Feeling your heartbeat. Allow the body to relax. Come back to neutral. Hands interlace behind the back body. Notice which thumb is on top. We'll peel our chest off the mat. Now take your thighs off the floor. So our heart is lifted. Then we lift those thighs. Look straight ahead. We breathe in, we lift a little higher. Maybe take those thighs a little further away from the floor. Can you lift the hands away from the back body? Now we lift everything and let it go. Release. Left ear to the mat. Allow the body to soften. We have 1 more. So coming back to neutral. This time the opposite, the hands interlace behind the back body. Opposite thumb on top. The non-habitual way. So we peel our chest off the mat. The feet are still rooted. You're engaging the back body muscles. Now take the thighs off the floor. So we'll lift the chest, then we lift those thighs. Look straight ahead. We lift the chest, lift the thighs. One more. Inhale, our heart lifts, our thighs lift. We take our hands away from the back body, then slowly release. Let everything go. Take that right ear to the mat. Lick your lips. Swallow. Now we'll bend our knees, windshield wiper them side to side. We're all warm now for our bow, our front body bow. So walking those knees towards one another, hanging onto the ankles, the toes. You can always take a hand towel around the tops of your ankles. So we peel our chest off the floor. Now take the thighs off the mat. Look straight ahead. Our heart lifts, the thighs lift. We're breathing, our heart lifts, our thighs lift. One more time, everything, find that full expression of the posture. Let it all go. Release the hands. Bill's making lots of noises here. We windshield wiper the feet side to side. And just use the momentum of the knees swishing to just find your way onto your back body. And we'll hug those knees back to into our chest. Finding opposite elbows, wrists, finger pads, but draw those knees in towards your chest. See if you can feel the shoulders connecting with the mat. Relax your feet. Your face is soft. We'll extend the left leg to the floor, interlace the fingers below the right knee, and take the right knee outside the right part of your chest. So your chin is reaching towards your chest, your eye gaze is down the front of the body, more of the Bikram posture. Squeeze that right knee in a little closer. Relax the jaw. Keep squeezing that right knee. One more breath here. Then we'll lift the right leg and leading with the heel, just lower the leg down to the mat. On the next in-breath, the left knee reaches towards the chest. Interlace the fingers, draw the knee to the left side of your ribs. Your chin is towards your chest. Your weight is level on the back body. Now squeeze that left knee in a little closer. Activating the descending colon here, aiding in our digestion. Squeeze that knee in one more time. Then we'll expand, lift the left leg, leading with the heel, slowly lower it all the way down. So one more time, we bend both knees and squeeze those knees into the chest. Relax the face. Keep squeezing. We'll lift both legs up, leading with your heels. Hands can support underneath your hips. Just slowly take those legs all the way down to the floor. Once they hit the earth, bend both knees, setting up for our bridge or full wheel. So we walk those heels all the way back towards our buns, fingers brush towards the heels. We turn our palms up towards the sky, feel the back body. Now using all four corners of the feet, lift those sits bones, lift your hip points, walk the shoulders underneath, maybe interlace those hands, energetically squeeze those knees towards that center plane. Our chin is reaching towards our chest. Can you lift that front body a little higher? Use the foundation of the feet. As slowly as you can. If your fingers are interlaced, release the hands, unwind the spine. Take your time. One by one, Feel the vertebra as it connects with the mat. Squeeze those knees together. Maybe walk your feet out to the width of your mat. Let's take both hands on our belly. Cleaning the teeth with your tongue. Gently rock your head side to side. We have one more bridge or full wheel. So we open up those knees, walk those feet in, make sure the sides are parallel to the mats. Our tendency is to have those feet turned out. So toes towards the back of your mat. With our hip points, we lift them off up towards the sky. Walk those shoulders underneath, find that opposite grip, that non-habitual way. Relax your face. Use the foundation of your feet to lift the front body a little higher. You can support your hands under your hips. On this version, maybe lifting the leg up towards the sky. Our hips are level. We'll lower that right leg down. On an inhale, the left leg lifts. Lowering that left leg to the floor. As slowly as possible, unwind that spine. Take your time. We'll allow those knees to kiss. Walk your feet out the width of the mat. Now we take our hands on our heart center. Whisper one thing you're grateful for into this heart space. Nice, and we'll open up those knees. Let's rock and roll. Warming up that back body again. Extending our legs out in front of you. Release that extra flesh. A full breath in as we melt forward. Breathing into that back body. Notice where your shoulders are in space. Can you draw them away from your ears? Protecting that lower back by bending those knees slightly. Jaw is soft. Flexing those feet. On an inhale, lift the heart. Let's take a bend in that right knee. Extend that left hand up towards the sky. Take that elbow outside the right knee as we twist over that right shoulder. So option to stay here. Maybe you slide that left hand underneath. You can connect the finger pads together and lift that right leg up. So our heart is lifted. Nice, and we'll lower that right knee, right foot back down, and we'll twist in the opposite direction. We come back to neutral. We open up that right knee now, right hand to the floor, open up the front body. Expand the left fingers, shake out that head, lift your heart. And we'll lower down, extend that right leg. Flex the feet, full breath in. And Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So slight bend in the knees, relax the head. Head towards your shins, our shoulders draw away from our ears. Flex the feet. Maybe give the feet a little massage. Feeling each toe. And we'll lift our hearts. And this time we bend that left knee. Left foot flat on the floor. Right toes are flexed. Right hand lifts this time. We take the elbow outside the left knee and we twist. So maybe you're exploring lifting the left leg. You can find the bind or just maybe lift that left leg. Taking that foot back on the floor, we'll twist in the opposite direction. and back to neutral. We open up the left knee, left hand roots behind you, expand, open up the front body, right hand up towards the sky, shake out that head, and slowly release the hips back to the floor. One more forward fold. So again, flex those feet. Deepest forward fold of the morning. A full breath in. And reaching the hands beyond, maybe beyond the toes. Maybe you find your shins, your ankles. Let that front body relax. Send the breath to your kidneys, the back of the ribs, the back of your neck. And we'll slowly unwind the spine, extend the arms out in front of you. Slowly take the back body to the mat. We'll squeeze everything, your face, your hands, your toes for 5. Squeeze for 4. Keep squeezing for 3, 2. Let everything go on 1. We find that next full incoming breath. Gently sigh it out. Gently rock your head side to side. Dancing your fingers and toes awake. Take a big breath in, reach the arms up overhead. As we hug our knees one last time in towards our chest. And allow them to fall to either side of the mat. Pause for a breath or 2. And slowly find that comfortable seated position. Eyes soft or closed. Yoga is the dance between the light and the dark within you. The light is what brings you back to the mat, and the darkness is what you uncover here. Don't be afraid of the darkness. These are only shadows, and though you'll have to walk down some pretty dark alleys, remember you are grounded in the light, and that light will set you free. Amy Jirsa. So taking your hands back to your heart center, bowing your forehead to the tips of your fingers, taking a moment to recognize the light within you. As I honor the light within all of you, thank you for sharing your practice this morning. Have a beautiful day, and namaste.
Now I can clap.
Now you can clap. Happy Lunar New Year. Thank you for joining. Hi, Hollywood.
Thanks, everybody.
Becky.
Thanks for the song.
Mickey. Nice to see you guys. Yeah, thank you. That was a beautiful blackbird.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Nice to see Frito. And